I woke up at 7 a.m. I looked at my phone, 3 emails, 2 missed calls, 1 meeting at 9. I sat on my bed. I did not move. I felt tired, but I just woke up. I don't want to go, I said. But I still stood up. I still brushed my teeth. I still wore the same black shirt. Every day looked the same. I worked in a small office. I sat in front of a computer all day. I checked numbers, I made reports, I sent emails. At 10 a.m., my manager walked in. "We need the report now," he said. "I will send it in 10 minutes," I said. But my hands were slow, my mind was empty. I looked at the screen. The numbers moved, but I did not feel anything. At lunch, I sat with my coworker Amy. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I am fine," I said. But I was not fine. I ate my food slowly. I did not taste it. Amy looked at me. "You look tired every day." I smiled a little. "Maybe I am just getting old." She laughed, but I did not laugh. At 3 p.m., something happened. The HR manager sent a message. "Please join a short meeting at 4 p.m. Everyone saw it. No one spoke. I looked at Amy. She looked at me. "This is not good," she said. I felt my heart beat fast. At 4 p.m., we sat in a small room. The HR manager smiled, but her eyes were serious. "The company has some changes," she said. "We may reduce some roles." Reduce. That word stayed in my head. I held my hands together. They felt cold. After the meeting, no one talked. I went back to my desk. I opened my computer. But I did not work. I asked myself a question. If I lose this job, what can I do? I waited for an answer. No answer came. That night, I went home late. I turned on the light. The room was quiet. Too quiet. I put my bag on the chair. I sat down on the floor. I did not turn on the TV. I did not check my phone. I just sat there. After a long time, I stood up and walked to the mirror. I looked at myself. I saw tired eyes. I saw no energy. I saw someone I did not know. "When did I become like this?" I asked. No one answered. I touched my face. "I am 36, I said slowly. "I should have a stable life." I looked at my reflection again. "This is a stable life," I said. "But why do I feel so afraid?" I went back to my bed. I lay down, but I could not sleep. The word came back again, reduce. I closed my eyes. "What can I do now?" I asked. This time I felt something, not an answer, just a small fear, and a very small voice, but I could not hear it clearly. That night I knew one thing. My life looked stable, but inside, something was breaking. The next morning I woke up early. I did not check my phone. I did not think about work. I only remembered one thing. What can I do now? On the train, I looked around. People stood close to me. Some watched videos. Some slept. I opened my phone. I searched, new skills for jobs. Many results came out, coding, design, data. I did not understand most of them. "This is too hard," I said. I almost closed the page, but then I saw one course, UX Design for Beginners. I read the words slowly. Easy start. No experience needed. Real projects. I stopped. "Maybe. I can try," I said. But then another voice came. "You are 36. You will not understand. You will fail." I locked my phone. I looked at the train window. My face looked unsure. That night I sat at my desk. I opened the course page again. My finger stayed on the screen. I did not move. "If I do nothing, nothing will change," I said. I took a deep breath. I clicked enroll. The first class was on Saturday. I arrived early. The room was bright. The tables were clean. Everyone looked ready. I was not ready. I sat down in the back. A young girl sat next to me. She smiled. "Hi, first time?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "Me too," she said. She looked about 22. I felt old. The teacher walked in. "Welcome, everyone," he said. His voice was fast. His words were new. User journey, interface, research. I wrote the words down, but I did not understand them. After 10 minutes, I felt lost. After 30 minutes, I felt worse. After 1 hour, I wanted to leave. The teacher asked a question. Why is user experience important? People raised their hands. The young girl next to me spoke. Because users need simple and clear design, she said. The teacher smiled. Good answer. I looked at my notebook. It was full of words, but no meaning. During the break, I walked to the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror, again. I don't understand anything, I said. This is not for me. When I came back, the class started a small task. Work in pairs, the teacher said. The young girl looked at me. Let's work together, she said. I nodded, but I felt nervous. She spoke fast. Maybe we can design a simple app, she said. I tried to follow. Yes, maybe, I said. But my mind was slow. I could not give ideas. After 10 minutes, she stopped. It's okay, she said softly. We can go step by step. I smiled, but I felt small. After class, I walked out alone. The sky was dark. The street was quiet. I held my bag tight. I called my friend Lena. How was the class? She asked. I stayed silent for a few seconds. Then I said, I think I made a mistake. Why? She asked. I don't understand anything, I said. Everyone is so young, so fast. Lena did not speak right away. Then she said, You just started. But I feel stupid, I said. You are not stupid, she said. You are just new. I stopped walking. I think I am too old for this, I said. The words felt heavy, very heavy. That night I sat in front of my computer. I opened my notebook. I looked at the messy words, user, flow, design. I still did not understand. I closed my eyes. I can quit now, I said. It is easy. Then I thought about the meeting. The word came back again. Reduce. I opened my eyes. I looked at the screen again. I will try one more time, I said. But in my heart, I was not sure. Not at all. The next week, I started a new routine. I woke up early. I went to work. I came home. I opened my laptop. Every day was full. But my mind was still slow. I watched the class videos again. I paused every few seconds. I wrote every word. User need. Simple flow. Clear button. I wrote them again and again, but still I felt unsure. One night it was 11 p.m. My eyes hurt. My back hurt. I looked at my screen. I only finished one small part. This is too slow, I said. At work things got worse. My manager gave me more tasks. We need faster work, he said. I understand, I said. But inside I felt pressure. I made small mistakes. One number was wrong. One email was late. My manager looked at me. You need to focus, he said. I will, I said. But my mind was already full. On Saturday, I went to class again. I felt nervous, very nervous. The teacher said, Today we will share your ideas. My heart dropped. Share? I was not ready. We worked in small groups. The same girl sat with me again. She smiled. Did you study this week? She asked. Yes, I said. But I was not confident. It was my turn to speak. I stood up slowly. My hands were cold. I think we can make a simple app, I said. My voice was low. No many steps, just easy to use. I stopped. I forgot the words. The room was quiet. Too quiet. I looked at my paper. The words were there, but my mind was blank. The teacher waited. Can you tell us more? He asked. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. Someone in the back moved. A chair made a small sound. It felt very loud. I'm sorry, I said. I can't explain it well. I sat down quickly. My face felt hot. I did not look up. After class, I packed my bag fast. I want to go home, I thought. The girl touched my arm. Hey, she said softly. You had a good idea. I shook my head. No, I didn't, I said. I could not even speak. She smiled. You are learning, she said. It takes time. I forced a small smile. Thank you, I said. But I did not believe her. On the way home, I did not look at my phone. I did not listen to music. I only remembered that moment, standing there, saying nothing. I should quit, I said. This is too hard. That night, I sat in my room. I did not turn on the light. I just sat in the dark. After a long time, I opened my laptop. Slowly, very slowly. I watched the same video again, the same lesson, the same words. I repeated after the teacher. User, needs, simple design. My voice was quiet, but I kept going. Tears came down. I did not stop them. I am tired, I said. I am really tired. I closed my eyes. I want to stop, I said. Then I remembered something. The mirror. That night. That question. What can I do now? I opened my eyes again. I looked at the screen. I am already here, I said. I will try again tomorrow. I did not feel strong. I did not feel ready. But I did not close the laptop. That night I learned one thing. I was still weak, but I did not run away. The next class was different. We had a project. A simple app, the teacher said. You will design it step by step. I looked at the task. My heart was still nervous, but this time I did not look away. I will try, I said quietly. We worked in pairs again. The same girl sat next to me. She smiled. Let's do it together, she said. I nodded. This time I want to try first, I said. She looked surprised. Of course, she said. I took a deep breath. What do users need? I asked. She said, they need something simple. I wrote it down. We can make a small app for daily tasks, I said. Like a to-do list. She smiled. That's a good start. I felt something new, not fear, just a little calm. I drew a simple screen, one box, one button, one list. Add task, I wrote. Done, I wrote. It's very simple, I said. She looked at it. It's clear, she said. That's important. For the first time I did not feel lost. I understood what I was doing. Just a little. But it was enough. When it was time to share, I felt nervous again. But not like before, not that heavy. I stood up. My hands were still a little cold. But I spoke. This is our app, I said. It helps people remember tasks. I pointed to my drawing. Users can add tasks here. And they can finish tasks here. I stopped for a second. Then I added, it is simple, so users don't feel confused. The room was quiet again, but this time it felt different. The teacher nodded. Good, he said. Very clear idea. He pointed at my paper. This is simple but useful, he said. You understand the basic idea. I blinked. Did he say, good? I thought. The girl next to me smiled. I told you, she said softly. After class, something changed. People did not look like strangers. One classmate came to me. Your idea is easy to understand, he said. Thank you, I said. Another student asked, why did you choose this design? I answered slowly. Because I think users need less steps. He nodded. That makes sense, he said. I sat down again. I looked at my notebook. For the first time the words made sense. User, simple, clear. On the way home I walked slower. I looked at the sky. It was the same sky, but I felt different. I did something today, I said. Something small. That night I opened my laptop again, but this time I did not feel fear. I felt curious. What else can I learn? I asked. I watched a new lesson. I took notes, not fast, not perfect, but steady. Before I slept, I looked at my hands. They were not shaking. I am still learning, I said. I am still slow. Then I smiled a little. But maybe I can do this. That night, I learned something new. Not just about design, but about myself. I was not stuck. I was just starting. 3 years passed, not fast, not easy, but step by step. I finished the course. I made more projects. Some were good, some were not. But I did not stop. I still worked during the day. I still studied at night. Some nights I was very tired. But I kept going. One day I got an email. Interview invitation. I read it twice, then 3 times. Is this real? I asked. The interview day came. I wore a simple shirt. My hands were a little cold, but my mind was clear. Tell me about your project, the interviewer said. I took a breath. This app helps users manage daily tasks, I said. I spoke slowly, but I did not stop. I explained my idea. I explained my choices. I explained my mistakes. The interviewer nodded. Good thinking, he said. 2 days later, I got another email. We are happy to offer you the position. I sat in my room, the same chair. But I was not the same person. I got the job, I said softly. No one answered. But I smiled. Now I work in a new office. I design simple apps. I still learn every day. Sometimes I still feel slow. Sometimes I still make mistakes. But I am not afraid anymore. One evening I walked past my old office. The building looked the same. The lights were still bright. I stopped. I looked at the door. I remembered that meeting, that word, reduce. I remembered that night, the quiet room, the mirror, the question. What can I do now? I stood there for a long time. Then I smiled. Thank you, I said. Not to the building, not to the company, to myself. Thank you for not giving up, I said. Thank you for trying. The street was quiet. The air was soft. I started to walk again. Slowly, but with no fear. Now I know one thing. Change is not fast. Change is not easy. But if you take one step, and then one more, one day you will look back, and you will see it. You were brave, even when you felt small.